But what happens
Mm.
if you don't have the track record, if you're somebody new,
Yes, yes,
okay, right?
yes.
Then as what you suggested, Romy, start small,
Mm.
and look for places where you can, contribute, even if it's pro bono. Is it,
Mm.
mean that for free, even if you get to present in a Toastmasters group, in a
Yeah.
Lions group, JCI group, whatever, non-for-profit organization, jump on that.
In life and business, success isn't just about what you do, it's about how you think and what you believe.
YP Lai has spent years reshaping how entrepreneurs think about growth and freedom. His approach is grounded in a powerful mindset shift.
Are you ready to build success on your own terms? This is YP Lai.
I will start off just with yeah, welcome. Welcome, YP. I'm really excited to have you in my podcast. And I think it's been how long since we last spoke? Probably like half a year.
Yeah, about a year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you look still young, so.
Thank you. Yeah, and so do you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. As a photographer, I have an advantage, I think, with lighting. And your lighting looks fantastic, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
think I
This all
mentioned to you.
natural lighting, which I learned from you.
Oh, and very angelic, very angelic. But today I'd actually like to talk a little bit, of course, of your background, about
Okay.
like BNI, work less and more, but also presence, and also the idea of being of service. I think that was something very powerful and that I recognized first when I came in contact with your brand. It wasn't even you. I
Mhm.
remember when I was on LinkedIn, I saw, the nice suit with the red tie, and that smile, seriously, I think was, yeah, it was a great headshot to start. And so good job. Kudos
Okay,
to
okay.
photographer and you.
Coming from a photographer,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
that's wonderful. But it really felt like you cared, which I
Mm,
think it's sometimes hard to deliver with photos, but I think your smile, like how you presented yourself,
mm,
was
mm.
fantastic. And then I think it was Pat Stride, who was one of the directors here in Edmonton, Alberta,
Mhm.
where I'm from. She invited you to teach, I think, our regional team,
Yes.
work less or more. And that was the first time that I got to interact with you. And yeah,
Mhm.
that program was incredible. So highly recommended, by the way, just to start off the work
Thank
less
you.
or
Thank
more
you for the
program.
plug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, but totally. Total plug. But from that, I realized how holistic the program is
Mm,
and how work less isn't about being lazy, but it's actually dialing everything into very effective and efficient gears for your system
mm.
to run. And then earning more is multiplying that system up to a certain level. But yeah, I'd love to hear kind of what your first impression was with our interaction, because I don't know if I asked you about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than me looking
Yeah.
young and being kind of overconfident and
Good
confident.
looking. Yep.
Oh
Okay.
no, yeah. I didn't pay you. I
Yeah.
didn't pay you. But yeah, thanks for the plug too. But yes, yes,
Yeah, so Romeo, I mean, I think, when we first, met each other at the next level, or we call it
yes,
COC then,
yeah,
I think we got on pretty well, isn't it?
yes,
Because, it's first thing, I think energy attracts energy.
yeah, yeah.
That's right. And I always
Totally,
believe that,
totally.
I don't intentionally go out and build my network in the sense of, oh, I want to have this person, have that person in my network. No, it all
Mm,
just comes naturally because the people who wants to serve the community, people want to help other people get a better life and so on, would naturally be, attracted to what they call that, each other. Yeah. So
yes,
that's how I always network.
yes.
And you got a point there, it's all about serving.
Hmm.
So the principle, and this is from BNI, right? Give us gain. It's always
Yes,
like, how can I help you first,
yep.
without thinking about, oh, what am I going to get out of
What
it?
do I want?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, what's in it for me? Which
yeah,
is typical for most people. Once we are focused genuinely, and I think everyone has got this radar in their heart that they can sense authenticity. When you
yes.
come from the right place, you're genuine, you're authentic about wanting to help another person, they'll
Hmm.
gravitate towards you. You build the rapport, the relationship, and miracles happen from there.
Amazing, amazing. Totally well said. I know you've probably taught a lot of people in this subject already too, in terms of like, yeah, the giver's gain in BNI, I think it's It's
Mm,
been fantastic to me.
mm,
And I think before BNI, joining BNI, I've already, I think was doing that, but the
mm,
confirmation of like, oh, there's this really amazing organization that's already using this kind
mm,
of philosophy, with, and I spoke with Ivan
mm.
too, and you guys like emit the same kind of aura in terms of the wanting to constantly serve. And I don't know where you guys get the energy, but you guys take very good care of yourselves to have that much energy to give
Yeah.
out. Because like how many regions, like I know it's the Asia Pacific, but like in terms of specifics, like what areas do you
So as a role, as a BNI role, I originally started okay from zero members, okay, in four
okay,
countries. I
four
started
countries.
BNI in Thailand,
Okay.
in Vietnam, in South Korea, and the Philippines.
Wow.
So it's four countries that I started.
Wow.
But then, like you said, there has got to be a point where you find what's your priority in life. I was
Yes.
traveling so much. Basically 8 months out of a year, I was out of the country, servicing the countries. Okay, that even when I come home, my goldfish could not recognize me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my goldfish gave me the blank look.
Oh no. That is
So,
sad.
so,
That
so,
is
so, yeah, so I decided that enough is enough. So I decided to sell back to my countries, South Korea
wow.
and Vietnam. I sold it back to my partners.
Okay.
I mean, I know that they'll be in good hands, okay?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I decided to just, maintain my focus in the Philippines and in Thailand,
Mm,
okay?
mm.
And ever since, yeah. So I'm the national director of two.
Nice.
These two
Nice.
countries. And now that I live in Australia,
Yeah.
I am technically their franchise development director for BNI
Oh,
Australia. So what I do is I support the basically the EDs, the franchise owners on how to support their members and
yeah.
also how to grow their region. Yeah,
Amazing. Amazing.
yeah.
No, so
And once in a while, I get invited, like Taiwan and so
yeah.
on, different countries to come and do training for them. So this is
Yeah.
like an ad hoc basis. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, but before the podcast like officially started, I think we kind of talked about that too, where you've obviously done a lot around the world now, and congratulations on the grandson too,
Thank you.
and on retirement of your significant other. I think that's a wonderful thing. But you mentioned that you actually had a good 3 months to travel the world. How is that now in terms of traveling for your family rather than for work? I'm quite curious with that.
Okay, and this is something, Wendy, when you listen to this podcast, you're getting credit for it, okay? So Wendy Lloyd Curley is actually executive director over on Sydney side, okay, the other part of the world, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And so when I went over to do a training for her, she was the one that taught me this phrase, travel more,
yeah.
travel better. And I've been. Using it as a mantra. So
Yes,
travel more means go see the places that you always that's always in the bucket list, but you've been putting it off. So we do
yes,
travel a lot more. Like this
yes.
year, the place that we've never been to is basically the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Denmark, and what did I say? Norway, Denmark, and
Sweden, Sweden.
Sweden. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, these three countries. We've never done that. In our
Wonderful.
bucket list, we go. And along that part of the world will be Iceland. We want to see the Northern Lights.
Nice.
So you travel more. But at the same time, many of us, while we are working or starting our business, we don't travel better. We look at
Mm.
the air ticket, we try to buy the economy ticket. We
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, hey,
yeah.
I didn't come,
Of course,
with a silver spoon in my mouth. I worked my
for
way
sure,
up.
for
So
sure.
we always try to save, a three-star hotel instead of five-star hotel. So the travel better comes, differently.
Yeah,
It makes your traveling different because
yes,
now you're able to travel a bit more comfortable.
of
You
course,
know,
of course, of course.
like in the like in this last 3 weeks Japan trip. So there's seven of us, six
Wow.
adults and a child. Okay,
Yeah.
so everywhere we go, you're basically using a premium van, the most
Yes.
expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But you have to
it's
travel
either
comfortable.
Alphard or a Velfire. Okay, so
Yeah.
those of you who are familiar with our cars. So we traveled well because we had a baby. We didn't want to be going in a train, packed, and
Oh
so on. I mean,
yeah.
that's the most economical,
Yeah.
but we just want to go from point A to B because at the end of the day, we're all tired. So every
Yes.
trip,
Yes.
in terms of, Aussie dollar is about a few $100, but
Wow.
it doesn't
It's
really
worth it.
matter,
Yeah, of
right?
course, of course. Well, you're
Yeah, yeah,
buying the comfort, the efficiency,
yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes I actually truly feel that it's less costly when you spend a bit more money, because
yeah.
you get to the location you need to be, and everyone is happier,
Yeah.
and then the next day you can actually do more activities. Yeah, traveling around the train with I think with kids, it's a great system
especially
down
with
in
the
Japan.
pram.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. I think, well, after being a father, I understand. And now you're a grandfather. I guess you can choose the roles that you want to do as a grandfather. So, yeah.
Okay,
But it's a good.
I'm the designated. Me and my wife, we are the designated pram pushers. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I do push it to my mom. So, but she loves it. I think grandparents love it when they get to hang out with their grandchildren. It's a
Mm,
little less they can kind of spoil and treat the grandchildren a lot more. And I let
mm,
my mom do it because that's their own little world that
yeah,
they have that's
mm,
special.
yeah,
The rules, the manners, the knowing how to live in the real world, I think comes from the parent side. So we can be
mm,
more strict and like angrier. And with me, the relationship with my son, I think is great, where he's scared of me, but he
okay.
loves me a lot too. Because I give him the
Mm.
rules, but when we have fun, we're like super, super fun.
All
But
out.
when there's rules, you have to abide by
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But yeah, so coming back to presence, I think I kind of mentioned about that when I first met you. There's this kind of service presence, but also a super calm that you have. That I always am in awe when, especially when I first started networking in the beginning phases of my business, because I'm very energetic. I'm very extroverted because I'm like I
Mm-hmm.
need to entertain everybody, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
whereas as kind of time went by, I realized, you choose the people with the same vibes coming in. Can you speak a little bit about your kind of progress in that? Like I haven't met you prior to, obviously, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
but in the beginnings of your business, was there kind of a progress in terms of how you've shifted in terms of interacting with people?
I think overall, I got started on a personal development journey pretty young. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
awesome.
my 20s, already I was having, personal development coaches, investment coaches, and so on. That's why I feel the coaching is very important
Yes. Yes.
because that saves you time, instead of trying to figure things out,
Yep.
you
Yep.
got your coaches who've done it before and then they put you on the right path. So one of the examples, let's talk about financial before I talk about personal, okay?
Sure. Sure.
I got to a pretty good place at a relatively younger age, okay,
Okay.
because at the age of 28, my coach gave me the book, The Multiple Streams of Income,
Oh, okay.
and that had been my so-called guidebook all these years, having to be able to be, I mean, having to build, or intentionally building four different type of businesses. And now, of course, with AI technology,
Oh, yeah.
a technology-based business. Okay, so I've got these five channels that I've constantly been building. And of course, the AI social media one has been my fifth channel. So that helped me put myself in a very good place, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, I think that's important. Okay, that's important. To start early and live your life intentionally, and that's what I've always done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming back to the personal development side, yeah, is reading has always been one of my good habits. Right? So things like the Seven Habits of
Mm. Highly
and
successful.
my okay. Let me complete it. The Seven Habits of
Yeah.
Effective People. Okay, right? That's
Yeah.
Stephen
Great book.
Covey's one. That's one of the earliest books I've read.
Ah,
Okay.
nice.
And then in terms of relationship with people, how to build genuine relationships, the book How to Win Friends and Influence
Yes.
People, that's my
Dale
go-to book.
Carnegie.
Yeah.
Great. Great book. Yeah. That was
It's
the
really
secret of
very
my that was my
valuable.
first book, actually. That was
Oh,
habits.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was 13.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm,
But
yeah.
no, I didn't. I was subconsciously kind of surrounding that side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like you mentioned that you got to experience the coaching side really early. For people that, because I think being an entrepreneur sometimes can, well, not sometimes, a lot of times is very lonely, and I think that's where the power of BNI comes into, where you can connect with a
Right.
bunch of other
Mm,
entrepreneurs that are driving
mm,
and in different phases too, which I think is an
mm,
advantage for the chapters usually, because you can always do one-to-ones and explore kind of
mm,
what am I doing here? Can you share with me how you see about things? For people that don't have this connection with BNI, like what is a recommendation that you could give them to start exploring sides outside of entrepreneurship? Because I find that it's not the end all be all. It can kind of pigeonhole people, like to become too narrow-minded, like we were talking about earlier too, that they
mm,
forget that
mm,
there's the outside world, and it ends up they have to sacrifice their health or their time
Right.
to complete their
Mm.
wealth side of things. So how do you find that balance, like after teaching so much in kind of
Um,
this world?
Something become very apparent when I work with other business owners. I've been in BNI for 24 years, but I've
Wow.
been, involving myself in the business world through other organizations like GCI for
Yes.
about 30 years now. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I've been working with thousands of people. I may look young, but I'm already 61 years young. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So,
couldn't
so
tell.
uh, I've got a bit of water,
Yes.
what do you call it? Not water under bridge. I mean, a bit of experience, okay, in
Yes.
life and business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I said that, one of the main reasons why business owners get overworked, overwhelmed, overstressed is because they try to do everything on their own.
Mm.
Because, the definition of usually an entrepreneur is somebody who does a startup, okay? And,
Yeah.
always we read about you know, um, in the media about those Shark Tanks and so on.
Yeah.
You only read, the success stories, the
Yeah. Yeah.
one in a thousand.
Yeah, exactly. Or a
Yeah,
million.
right. The other 999 people just
Mm.
failed,
Yeah, exactly.
and nobody features them, nobody
I
says,
know.
oh, this guy who failed 999 times,
Yeah, exactly,
nobody's going to
exactly.
feature that, right?
Yeah,
So
totally,
the thing
totally.
is that, many people try to do things on their own.
Mm.
It's either through a mindset thing, okay, or I know it better than anybody else, or more often than not, it's the resource. When you're a
Mm.
startup, when you're starting your own business, yeah, you're limited in resources. You cannot afford to have so many things done for you. So you try to learn and do it yourself. And that's why the, DIY, do it yourself market, in terms of personal development is such a big market because there's so many people out there who wants to learn how to do things themselves.
Yes,
But
yes.
so my advice to them is that, okay, initially, when you're really, really strapped, cash strapped, do a bit of DIY.
Sure.
But the minute you can start, join an organization like BNI
Yeah.
or a similar organization where you're now working with other people. When you
Mm.
work with other
Yes.
people, different people have got different resources, different knowledge, different skills. And once you put it all together,
Yes.
you find that your journey is much easier. Yeah.
So true. So true. I think that,
I'm not
yeah, I'm
actually,
sorry.
I'm not a salesperson for Amazon. How do you pronounce it? Amazon?
Amazon, Amazon. Yeah, yeah.
Amazon, okay, because all my Aussie friends tell me that I'm pronouncing it wrong, okay? So I'm not a salesperson for Amazon,
Yeah.
but obviously, I love reading and
Yes.
recommend books, okay, right? So
Yes.
one of the book, Ivan Meisner, the founder of
Yeah.
BNI, wrote recently, this one of his newest book is called, The Third Paradigm.
Yeah.
First paradigm is when you do business by competition. You try to outdo, kill your competitor.
Yeah.
That's resulting in what you call the red ocean, okay, right? Everybody
Yes.
gets stabbed in the back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
We'll
I
talk
read
about
for a
the blue
reason.
ocean strategy, which is paradigm number two is let's cooperate, let's help each other out, okay?
Yeah.
And Ivan comes up with the third paradigm is that, you know, cooperation means that take two existing and work together. But now he
Hmm.
talks about, um, uh, co-creation. The third paradigm is about co-creating. You take your skills from me, I take my skills and a few other
Ah,
people. We put our skills together and we create something even better than
yes.
what we currently have.
Ah, okay, okay,
So
okay.
that's the third paradigm, and I'm loving it. So
Yes.
Work-Less Owner Academy is actually a co-creation effort, right?
Oh,
Although it sounds like it's YP, the founder, but it's actually bringing 100 coaches, speakers, and trainers, each of
yes.
us with our skills. We,
Yes.
we, we we bring our skills and we create this academy or this platform where
Yes.
everybody benefits and our end user, the students, also benefit. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
No, that's such a
So
yeah.
start thinking out of the box. Stop thinking about, So you ask me what advice I'll give to, entrepreneurs or those starting up. Stop, as early as possible, stop thinking about doing things yourself. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Start
yeah.
thinking about how you can, collaborate initially and later on co-create with other people. Yeah.
I think it comes in, and thank you so much for that advice. I think it's I've experienced that personally, being in photography for over 25 years now. It's like
Mm,
it's a very lonely job in general anyways as an artist because
okay.
we are very how do you call that? We want our work to be ours, especially with
Mm,
art. It's like we're the ones that
mm,
create it. So,
mm,
and it's hard to collaborate with others initially. Like that's what we think. Entrepreneurs, I feel when you talk to them about it, they have no other way of thinking about it because they think they can do it
mm,
themselves cheaply, and they think that they can do better than the other people too. But I
mm,
think once you start putting yourself out there in networking environments, it might not start
mm,
from BNI, like you mentioned. There's other networking organizations out there. It could even just be like a coffee time downtown that you see some
Yeah.
people trying to get together. Like I think like I'd be right on board with you. Just put yourself out there first and see what other people can potentially see that you might not
Mm.
have saw before. Because what you don't know what you don't know. I think that's the
It's
scariest
true.
place to be, right? And recently, like, with the exposure that you've assisted me in seeing, like, the Singapore side, even, the place from where I am, like Taiwan, like, being able to see how they think in business has drastically changed the way
Mm.
I do things, not just in business. I've actually
Mhm.
dialed in business, and that allowed me to dial in family too, which I
Okay.
think
Sounds
has been
exciting. Yeah.
super powerful because
Mm.
there's clarity in, how you talk about work less. It's actually
Mm.
like, that optimization side of how do you
Mm.
make just a few things that you have to do. We have that silver object syndrome, as shiny object syndrome,
Mhm.
as like entrepreneurs, so we want to
Yeah,
do
shiny
everything.
object syndrome. Yeah.
But now it's like just focusing on,
Mm.
3 or 4 things in your life that you can make really, really good. And I think your
Mm.
program allows us to do that because even though you have all these experts in so many different industries, people now can focus better because these experts can actually tell you specifically what to focus on
Mm.
rather
Mm.
than like, try this out, try this out, try this out, right? So
Mm.
I think that's super, super powerful. um so no, pretty cool. Like in terms of presence now, like I've seen you present a few times in pretty big rooms, a few thousand. And how does someone approach that initially when they don't have that experience? I'm curious how you approached it. I know you were from the background of coaching, so that service side was there, but I'm sure it's also quite intimidating when you first started out.
Well, this is a question that is interesting to answer, and
Okay.
I've never been asked that.
Oh,
And people have got this assumption that YP used to be a coach, a trainer, a speaker, and I
yes,
come from that background.
yes.
I don't. My
Oh,
background is I'm a civil engineer.
oh,
I'm
wow.
a project manager.
Okay,
So
okay.
my day job is to go on a construction site and yell at people with foul language. That doesn't make a good that
No, that's
doesn't
not
make
a
good
good.
training for the coaches, right? I mean, you
Totally.
think about, the people from the construction site, they
Yes.
swear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? That's my background, okay?
Yes, yes.
Earlier on, I mentioned the key thing, live your life intentional, okay?
Mm, mm, mm.
So this is one of the blessings I have, this is something very big. You got to know, and I use the formula be, do, have.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
what do you want to have in your life? So if you want to be a famous keynote speaker with thousands of people speaking, okay, so the next one is do. Okay, what do you need to do in order to have that opportunity?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the one word before that is be. Who do you need to be?
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
who do you need to be to do the things you need to do in order to have the things you want in your life? So it's a
Yeah,
formula,
yeah,
simple 3 words formula. And when you live your life intentionally, you gather that, okay? Right.
yeah.
So my biggest break to a few thousand member presentation was actually through BNI.
Nice.
And so I was strategic. So you live your life intentionally, be strategic. I knew what was the biggest problem in BNI then, launching chapters. So I intentionally, launched a lot of large platinum chapters. So for those of you not knowing, a platinum chapter is 50 plus members.
Plus,
So I
yes.
was knocking them off, like every
Wow.
month,
Wow.
in
Holy
the
crap.
countries I run. So I'm left brain, I'm process orientated. When you follow
Yes.
a process, you get results. That's
Yes.
why ISO consultants make so much money, right?
Yes.
SOPs for everything, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I had it, I developed it, I fine-tuned it. And then I applied to be a speaker on the BNI Global Convention. And guess what? I spoke on how to launch chapters in 3 simple steps, right?
Yeah.
And that presentation was a hit. Not everybody gets a standing ovation. I got one. Okay. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it hit. And then obviously there are national directors of BNI leaders sitting in the room, and they came up to me right after the presentation. They said, YP, can you come to my country?
Ah, wow.
Germany being the first one. And said, can you come
Powerful.
and train me? And
Yes.
that's how I started becoming a global speaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Doing
and
that.
how long ago is this?
Wow, that I think it's around 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
around
Okay.
there.
10, 10, about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, amazing,
somewhere
amazing.
around there. Yeah. Or maybe slightly earlier because I remember my trip to, I think my trip to Germany was, I think 2014, and then I did Austria the year after 2015. Yeah. Somewhere around
Wow.
there, about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So
So in
it's
order to be
yeah.
able to do that, then I went and do, I went to study under um, Speakers Institute Australia. I learned some speaking communication skills from different trainers,
Yes.
right? Sam, if you're listening to this, thank you, Sam, for all your training.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, I was intentional to pick up the skills I need to have to be able to go on stage and make an
Yes.
impact. We've seen people come out on stage and they waffle, 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 or they've got good content, but they
Yes.
cannot communicate across. And these
Yes.
are skills that are learnable, isn't it? Romy? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. And it's
Yeah.
like through repetition too, I feel like when you
Yeah.
have more opportunities, like you have to
Yeah.
go take them. I think that was something that I learned from you too through going through like the next level was they provide a lot of opportunities in terms of
Mm,
presenting. And they always ask if anyone wants to go up, and
yeah.
I'm like, just go and just go do it. Yeah, the more
Yeah.
opportunities you have to fail, especially like you
Yeah.
said, it's a learned skill. You might not be good for a few times, tens of times, but just keep at it because you're going to be surrounding
Mm,
yourself with the right people, and there's
mm,
this one day suddenly something will click. And
yeah.
I feel that's definitely the opportunity that you give a lot of people where you lay things out and then people see it and be like, okay, they might not get it right at that point, but
Mhm.
eventually I think they just immerse themselves so much in kind of your environment and they understand it.
As you're
So
sharing this, this reminds me, I do follow quite a few gurus. Okay, T.
yeah.
Half Ecker,
Oh
the
yes,
million
yes.
mind intensive is one of the person I invested. I spent a big sum with him and Success Resources actually,
Yes, yes.
and I remember his famous saying, "Every master
Yeah.
was once a disaster."
That's a great one. Every
Yeah,
master was
yeah,
once a disaster. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Mm,
Yeah, you have to be willing to you have to be willing to go through it. Like the
mm,
challenge, the really, really challenging, uncomfortable, unknown.
mm,
And I find the more successful the individual that I meet, the more that they have been through that.
yeah.
When you dig deep into it,
Mm,
it like you said, only the pretty part is shown, especially on TV, like with Shark Tank and everything.
yeah.
You know how hard like everyone in business works for their business, and these people that are on the show also work super hard too. Not discounting
Mm,
that, but entrepreneurs don't get enough credit, right? So, but no, thank you so much for that share. Kind of shifting a little bit now into AI, which is the really
okay.
popular part, but coming back into information, like right now there's AI slop, AI over information, and like social media noise. How do you kind of absorb this information now personally, and how do you give out clear information in this environment too?
AI has actually made the entry into the coaching speaking training, especially the coaching, not so much the speaking and the training, okay? But especially in the coaching area, they make the entry so much more easily accessible. And therefore, last time you could have 100 coaches, now you have 1,000
Yeah, yeah,
coaches, or maybe
yeah,
10,000 coaches, because everybody can go to ChatGPT and ask,
yeah,
give me the 10 tips to be a great coach.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then they
That's
just follow that, and and they
you're
think that
done.
they make them a great coach, right?
Yeah,
So the playing field is very, very, um, I would say it's murky would be the word, okay?
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very confusing, because there's so many players out there,
Yes.
right? So what is important is that okay, so someone look from two angles. One angle from the somebody is trying to emerge there. What the market now knows is that there's so many messages out there. There's so many messages out there, and people gravitate towards authentic. So the authenticity, people don't want to look at polished presentations,
Yes.
but the guy who comes across authentic, genuine, and especially authenticity and being genuine, backed up by track records.
Mm,
Okay,
mm, mm,
yeah,
mm, mm,
that
mm.
would be the easiest and the most powerful way to get into the market. But what happens
Mm.
if you don't have the track record? If you're somebody new,
Yes, yes,
okay, right?
yes.
Then, as what you suggested, Romy, start small, and look for places where you can, contribute, even if it's pro bono. Is it, mean that for free, even if you get to present in a Toastmasters group, in a
Yeah.
Lions group, JCI group, whatever, non-for-profit organization, jump on that, and then you
Yes.
slowly build up your profile, right?
Yes.
In my
Yes.
earlier days, anybody who gets me to speak, no matter how crazy the topic is, I say, yes, I'll do that, and then go figure out how to do
Yes.
that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I've
I've
been doing.
spoken at, real estate, real estate, what do you call that, association of real estate, whatever, for
Yeah.
their,
Yeah.
what do you call it, CEU,
Yeah. Yeah.
continuing education unit or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done some weird presentations, yeah. But
But yeah.
have a good, have a niche topic that you can surround, that you can play around with. Like Romy, you are known for, creating the charm, how to show the authentic self, So you're known for a particular niche,
Yes.
and use that and modify that. Because if you go at every tangent with, you know, yeah,
It'd be
every
challenging.
tangent, and you don't brand yourself as a specialist in something, you get diluted. Yeah.
Yes, that murkiness. Well, like you'll get lost in that murkiness, like how you
Yeah.
put it. And
Mm.
yeah, and so for you right now when you're like I don't know how often you school. Do you use the phone a lot or
Yeah, I
like
do. Yeah.
okay, okay. Then how do you kind of manage that information? I know you have some systems within Work Less or More too in terms of
Okay.
distribution.
So basically, what I do is that I have a few trusted, um, I have a few trusted, I would say, coaches, that personally coach me. So I think AI is very important. Either you utilize to make yourself more efficient and effective,
Mm-hmm.
or you get lost behind. Okay, so that is my
Yes.
belief. Okay, so I believe
Yes.
that AI has got a major role in every aspect of running a business and also personal life. Okay, right. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
having said that, so for example, I just this is something new.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're probably the first person going to hear it. Oops, you're going to be in a podcast. Okay, so for example, you got to know where your target market is,
Yes.
right? As a
Yes.
business owner, my target market, I'm looking for professionals who want to achieve time and financial freedom. And I want to look for coaches, speakers, and trainers. In general, these people do not live in TikTok. In
Mm-hmm.
general, okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is not my focus, but where do professionals live? If I were to
Okay.
ask you this question, where do you think you find most professionals and accountants, lawyers, owners of companies, C-suites, where do you think they live most in terms of social media?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
Yes.
obviously,
Big one.
right?
Yeah.
So I got myself a LinkedIn coach,
Yeah.
and what this guy did, and later on, if you come to my website, you'll see him, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he's one of the top LinkedIn coaches around the world. Okay. Yep.
Nice.
He works with people like Roger Hamilton. Okay.
Yeah.
So what he did is that he used AI. He's developed his own agent using AI, and he spent 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
making me answer 200 questions.
Wow. That's a lot of
And these
questions.
200 questions is about the Work Lesson More Academy because
Uh-huh.
he dug deep. So, with AI,
Yeah.
first I answer a question, what is Work Lesson Academy about? When I answer that you prompt and ask me another question, another question, another question, another
Okay.
question,
Keeps
okay?
going deeper. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes deeper and deeper. So in 2 weeks, they totally analyze my business model, my focus and everything, okay? So that's 2 weeks on the
Yeah.
company.
Wow.
But nowadays, if you look at Simon Sinek, he says people don't want to know what you do, they want to know why you do it.
Yeah.
So the identity, the brand of the owner is very important. So he
Yes.
spent another 2 weeks
Oh, on
telling me
the
who is
personal brand.
YP, what's your vision,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he made me write my life story from the day I was born to right now. Every
Wow.
significant impact
Well, that was only
that
what, 25 years? No, just kidding. No, 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 no. Yeah.
no, it's actually 24,
Oh,
okay? 24 plus, okay? Right.
sorry.
So answering that 200 question, that really digs down. Now the AI
Hmm.
understands the persona for YP and the persona for the company.
Nice.
That
Nice.
marries the two,
Yeah.
and through this, they know what my target market is. So
Yeah.
they're able to come up with messaging that people who are my target market, when they read this, oh, sounds like me, I better find out a bit more. So you can
Yes.
see, it will be almost impossible to take a really, really good business coach to be able to drill this deep to get, that type of messaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's an advantage in AI that can allow you to
AI,
do that.
and AI is a tool, if I
Yeah.
give a scalpel to a brain surgeon, he does a miracle.
Yes.
If I give the same scalpel to YP, he probably killed somebody, right?
Or you can cut steak.
You know,
You cut
so
steak
it's
with
not only
it.
the tool, yeah, it's the practitioner of the tool of
Yes, yes.
the use of the tool that's very important, right?
Totally, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and
that's my belief in AI. And if I may plug, Work Lesson more
of course,
Academy a bit more, okay?
of course.
So I'm actually heavily engaging to have an AI makeover, okay?
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
So what it does is that, and this is work in progress. Probably by December, I'm gonna have it out. So
Nice.
Romy, if you come in as a student, you're gonna ask you, hey Romy, out of these 7 key areas, which one are you most important to you?
Ah,
Okay, so you give it a choice. So you key in, so maybe asset, because we had an earlier conversation. Let's say
yeah, yeah,
building my assets. Okay, good, fantastic. So we've got 5 vehicles to build an asset: stock market, forex, crypto, options, and so on.
yeah.
Which one attract you the most? And
Yes,
then
yes,
maybe you say property investment. Okay,
yeah.
right,
And then ties in.
right.
Yeah,
And then it drills down and say, okay, we've got two courses of property investment. Okay, one is more basic, one is more advanced. Which one do you
nice.
prefer? So,
Yes,
so, so, so I'm actually using AI or an AI agent to
yes,
interact with students to
yes,
lead them to what they need most at this
yes,
point in their journey.
yes.
Otherwise, in the old days, what you do, you go in like you go into Udemy, you see
I
a
know.
thousand courses and you don't know where to start, right?
Just like yeah, that total fatigue that you get, like decision fatigue, because there's
Yeah.
just too many
So this
choices.
one
Yeah,
is guided
it's
and
wonderful.
yeah, whoever is a student coming in, they're gonna feel more at home. They feel more
Yes.
guided, and of course, it's not all AI driven. There's the human element behind. If they need to talk to somebody real, I've got my team.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
they can talk to them. So
Fantastic.
we are really wanting to help people achieve their time of financial freedom, so they can do things like play with their children or play with their grandchildren.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Or travel, like you said,
Travel, yeah,
travel more first, but or travel better. Like
yeah.
I've totally
So
dialed
remember
into
this
that.
phrase, right? Travel more, a hashtag, travel more, travel better.
That
Yeah.
is fantastic because recently from my friend that introduced me, actually, that sponsored me into BNI, Peter Lee, also shout out to him. He travels a lot and he's in the financial sector in boutique
Okay.
investments. And I think it was probably 2 years ago, he
Mm-hmm.
brought me into a project that did pretty well. And then after, he
Okay.
introduced me to four different types of credit cards to build um, basically status.
Okay.
And it was an incredible perspective on using credit cards as financial tools and not just spending
Mm,
frivolously, right? Like I think a lot of people, when they think of credit cards,
mm,
it's like you're just trying to, spend with things that you don't have. But there's actually amazing cards that can allow you to travel more and
mm.
also travel better. And
Wow.
yeah, like I think with seeing you travel, I know that you travel tons, but we've both been in the economy slash premium economy slash business, and we know kind of the differences in
Mm,
kind of the calm that it brings when you're going through
mm.
that crazy environment of airports. I think the airport is probably my least favorite place. I want to get to the location, but when there's, if you have premium economy, business class, they give you that lounge access, and the way that they
Yeah.
treat you is makes you feel like, okay, this is a good place to be. But I'm totally gonna keep striving for that because not that
Yeah.
I hate economy. Sometimes the prices are really cheap, so we're gonna have to go that route.
No,
But
my tip on that is actually
yes,
go, focus on one particular, other Star Alliance, what's the other
yes,
one? One World or a Sky
yes,
Team.
yes,
Focus on one
yes.
depending on where you travel the most. For me, from
Yeah.
Perth, it's, obviously Singapore Airlines. So I
Yes.
am a goal with the
Wow.
Chris
Nice.
Flyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the and opposite to you, the airport is where I love the most because this is where I can
Oh,
go to the lounge
and
and have,
focus.
2 hours before my flight,
Yes.
just chill out, do the things I want to do,
Yes.
clear whatever I need to clear before I get onto the plane. Yeah,
And once
yeah,
you're
it
on the
gives
plane, you
it gives
start.
me a lot of freedom.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 Freedom. Freedom in the lounge, which I
Yeah,
totally love.
and
Yeah.
on top of it, as a Chris Flyer, you don't have to be even at a status, just got to be a Chris Flyer member,
Yes.
and you can get free Wi-Fi on flights.
Yes. I think that's
Yeah.
incredible. You can
Yeah,
now you
not
can
to
see
work,
connect.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays
To
all the
connect.
games
Yeah.
or on Netflix or
Just
whatever.
yeah. 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 Watch what you need to watch and connect with
Yeah.
the people that you need to connect with. I think
Mm,
that's actually coming back to everything. I think that's where it is, right? Where like right now how I'm sharing my ideas with people, it's not just the present side anymore. Like it's actually
Mm,
signals that you're sending out to people, right? It really
mm,
dials down to that purity of signal, or different types of signal that you give out to different groups of people.
yeah.
Presence is such a it's a very complex, I think, buildup of you, or a
Mm,
form or a version of you that you want to display.
mm,
Whereas right now, I'm actually trying to get people to think about what is that end idea or message that you want to get across for
mm-hmm,
the people that you're
mm-hmm,
talking to understand. Because
mm,
ultimately, it's that, can you build trust with your
yeah.
presence to start, so that when people see you, they've never talked to you even, they already
Mm-hmm,
have this feeling of, I'm comfortable around you. And that's how you made me feel. Like when I first, I didn't even talk to you. I just saw your happy photo with the
thank
red
you.
tie. Yeah, and then the consistency and authenticity, like you were talking about, that kind of carried forward
Mm,
to match what I saw your presence to be digitally. And yeah, it was really really impressive to see the consistency.
thank
How
you.
do you because I know you talk about that Bidu have, like you're getting people to it's almost like a reverse way of thinking rather than thinking of the original way. Like how can people think more creatively about themselves and their message?
That's actually a big question,
Yeah.
So, if you can and you haven't done it before, and I've done it with you, Romy, okay, is, first thing you got to know, what's your ikigai, okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, ikigai simply translated is like a center of being. What's your purpose in your life? Okay, it is a very big question. It is again a financial and a non-financial question. Okay, so there are ikigai charts there. You just go at IKIGAI. You can Google that, and then the chart will come up. So basically, what you're doing has got to be something that you're good at,
Yes.
okay, that you enjoy doing, the world needs, and the world is willing to pay for. Make it sound very simple, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be where all these four things meet. Because let's say, many of us are trapped in a job or even a business that makes us money. Okay, we are reasonably good at it, but we don't enjoy doing it.
True, true,
Right,
true.
right. Or sometimes, people have got ideas, teaching origami, teaching cats how to do origami, for example. Okay, so this is
That's
something that I
incredible.
enjoy, I'm good at, and so on. But the world is not going to pay me for that, right? And it's going to be a struggle, right? Yeah.
That
So,
was a
I say
crazy
the
example.
concept, you want to start doing something, or you're doing something and not earning the money. Number one, look at the ikigai, and
Mm.
if you're in a position to shift.
Oh boy.
Okay, right. And then the second thing is that, the worst thing in business is try to have a new concept. Okay, right.
Oh.
And because you think, oh, nobody has got this idea first, I'll be the first one to do it. But there's always a reason why the concept is not there first, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
Uh, uh, so I'm just gonna use a very simple example, fish and chips, because you got fish and chips everywhere, right?
Yeah, yep,
If you sell fish and chips, fish and chips, as long as the fish and chips is decent,
yep,
if it's
yep.
7/10, you never go hungry. You may
Yes,
not be super rich, but you never go hungry
yes, yes.
because people eat fish and chips.
Mm.
But for example, if I want to start a new business and say, oh, nobody has ever done frog and chips. So I've got to educate people why frog is good for
Oh,
them, and
hard
that's trying to
work.
drive this business.
Yeah.
Gee, right?
So true. So like stay don't you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but
Yeah.
like learn from people that are around you. And I think that's a very powerful kind
Mm.
of perspective to have, where like creativity is, I guess creativity, don't be overly creative, I guess.
Mm.
That's kind of
So I
what you're
think
saying.
be creative within a framework of
Mm,
success.
yes.
Right now, the biggest in terms of outlet, okay, the biggest outlet for coffee
Yeah.
is no longer Starbucks.
Yes, yes.
The China company, gee,
Yeah, yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I
okay,
remember.
yep. So
Yeah.
so let's not mention the company,
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah, for
But
sure,
but,
for sure.
but so the idea is that, how do we serve coffee faster
Yes, yes.
and tackling the younger crowd who are more AI and more technology driven, okay? So with that coffee, I can remember the name now, in the Luckin Coffee.
Yeah.
The key thing is about being able to use your phone, order your coffee, go there, pick it up,
Yes.
convenience.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So you
yes.
can do an old established idea. Everybody drinks coffee, but they want it fast instead of the usual, Starbucks queue of 20 people deep.
Yes.
They can grow so fast, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
So the
not
creativity
reinventing
comes
the.
into solving problems better, I said better, faster, cheaper,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
trying to come up with a revolutionary idea. Okay, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Just in near closing
Sure.
now, what would you like to kind of share with or what would be a kind of a departing message
Okay.
for entrepreneurs or people that want to explore what you're doing more?
Okay, so basically, I work less and more academy. This is again a pitch. Okay,
Yeah.
so we want to target busy professionals. Okay, business owners. Right. The idea is this. Life is too short to be slogging 9 to 5, whether in business or whether it's business or your job. Okay, so you got to learn. What are the principles of achieving time and financial freedom. Okay, the principles are there is that sometimes we do it piecemeal. We try a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this, and then it doesn't work, right? So you
Mm.
need to have a full blueprint. And it's not me, YP alone. I've got a team of 100 people that will help you do that. And give me another 1 or 2 months. Now we're gonna have it AI driven to help you zoom in on what you need. Okay. So that's the say now. Live your life intentionally, get your time and financial freedom. Okay. And then as a business owner, okay, and especially with your coach, speaker, trainer, we want to help you get your business and your message out there because as a business owner, okay, let's talk about the first part first. As a coach, speaker, trainer, you're changing lives. Now, Romy, you've changed so many people's lives. Okay,
Mm.
we
Okay.
want to help you get your message out there so that you can transform more lives
Yes,
and have
yes,
more impact on the world.
yes,
And then if you're just a business owner, you're not coach, speaker, and trainer, I want to help you succeed. Because
yes,
you think about it, all the successful business owner and the one that inspired me is Richard Branson, which is
yes.
Plan B.
Person. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So he's got he has a non-for-profit organization
yeah,
that helps that helps the world become a better place. You would think
yeah.
about what's the name, Bill and Melinda Gates, the Gates
Yes.
Foundation.
Yep, yep.
They're focusing on healthcare. They want to
Yes.
eradicate polio or poverty or what do you call that
Malaria and
certain
stuff. Yes.
diseases from
Yep,
Africa. So
yep.
when you've got money, you're successful, you can channel your resources to make the world
Yes.
a better place. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And then even our homegrown, BNI Foundation, Ivan Meisner,
Yep.
what's the foundation for? To help children, because the
Hmm.
children are the 100% of our future, in his words. We want to help
Yeah.
children become even more successful, especially in developing countries, so that they can make the world a better place in future, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so, so
Yes.
I want people to live their life intentionally, achieve a success so that you can give back to the world. So that's my final message.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it was always great talking to you. So,
Thanks,
I
Romy.
wish
Thanks.
we have more moments together for sure.
Okay.
And yes, until till then, definitely check out Work Less, Earn More. If you're watching this on video too, there's a QR code there. I'm sure it leads to it leads to your website or a good flow for Work Less, Earn More. But yeah, thank you again, YP. It was an honor
Thank
to
you,
have you.
Romy.
And good to see you still looking 34. So
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
okay, thank you, thank
Okay, you take care,
you. Take
Romy.
care.
All the best.
Bye.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
thank you,
everybody.
thank you. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
So now I
Okay.
guess you have the Chris to meet now.
Not Chris, but with Sunny and
Oh,
Lion. Yeah.
sending them. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I appreciate
Take
your
care.
time. So okay, we'll
Okay.
talk soon.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye bye, bye bye.